So good evening to you all. It's a Thursday night, just before the Friday live stream, and I finally got to go out. Now, I was due to go to Oakley Bike Club tonight, but unfortunately Phil has got a major toothache and a tooth problem, so he won't be joining me. So I thought, while you're not going out, Phil, I'm going to take the bike for a run. I need some wind therapy. I have had a really crap and down day today, and I will get to that. And I thought, right, while I'm having a down day and I'm having a bit of a mental issue, not that I'm mental all the time and nutty and can't shut up, as you all know, I waffle. I'm going to go out and do this challenge. Now, John Diehard McLean, fantastic guy, really is down to earth, and I have been saying to John, I will get your box out. It's on the way, John, it is on the way. Finally, I've got some time to get down to the post office, special delivery and all that, and get your parcel out to you. So I do hope you enjoyed the parcel, mate. It should be with you on Friday, Saturday, and that is sent with much love from RB. But on to John Diehard McLean's challenge. And I thought, what better time to do it while I'm having a down day and having a bit of wind therapy. Who even are you? Tell your life story. Now, if you've been on a few of those challenges and watched the other bikers, so I'm going to mention Cole Dutz. He's had some bad times. Simon GTR 1400, he's had a really bad time of it. My very good friend Lockwood, and yes, there is a bit of idolising going on there. Lockwood 92. I knew the story, but I've been staying stum about it. I knew what the 92 was, so obviously Lockwood did his little thing for who even are you. And I have said to all the guys, it's probably going to be the hardest one for me to do. So if you do hear a bit of sniffing, I'm not bawling, I've got a runny nose. I'm trying to keep a smile on my face while I do this. So, who is RB? And obviously most people know me as Dave. Most people know me as my real name. I am not Doctor Who. But let's start the story of RB. If you don't like it, tough. I'm going to get this off my chest, and this is probably about the first time, apart from Phil knows about it, and my brother Hayden, who's obviously not a biker, and we don't talk that often, me and my brother, but when we do, we have a good time. He's got his own life, I've got mine. But let's start the story of RB. Roll the titles. So, welcome back. Right, the story of RB. I started my biking career very young, 5 years old. Thanks to my dad, obviously Robert, who's no association to Lockwood. So, my dad Bob, and my granddad, it was known as Jerry, but was known as Horace Ward. And I owe a lot to my granddad. 5 years old, he had a little, and it wasn't a pit bike, it was more like a chainsaw engine in a frame, twist and go. 5 years old, and I pottered around on this little monkey bike, as you could call it, and it's very similar to what the monkey bikes are today, but it was a little old Honda. I think it was about 49cc. It was more like a chainsaw engine. Now obviously I'm going slow, take me time. Started me on a bike and I loved it, and my granddad went, "Hey up boy, you're doing all right." Now my granddad was a welder, bit of a car mechanic, and back then he had a Vauxhall Viva, and we used to potter off out the house, walk down to the garage block as it used to be at the bottom of the hill when he had his car in there, and I used to sit and watch him tinker every weekend. What do you want to do? Do you want to sit in and watch telly, go out with your friends, or do you want to go down the garage with Grandad? I'm going down the garage with Grandad. I want to tinker on the spanners. and my granddad used to be my idol. So, moving on, riding bikes, little bits and pieces everywhere, and then 12 years old, my dad was a huge biker and he had loads of bikes. He had a Rocket, and remember the old BSA Rockets, a couple of Triumphs, the old T100s, and a BSA Bantam. And 12 years old, and he said to me, he said, right, I think you're ready for a bigger bike. Do you know how to change gear? Never ridden a big bike in my life. Sitting on the front, and he'd reach over, get it into second gear, toddle along, and because my dad was 6'4", he put his feet down and the bike went away from under him, and off I went, pottering around on the front in second gear, just riding it up and down our local straight at the sports pavilion. So that started me on bikes. Loved it until he dropped his Bantam and made a mess of it, wrecked it, and bought another Bantam. This Bantam was sat in the back garden, and I went, I want it. You want it, boy? There's the spanners, the engine runs, you fix it. And I did, and it became my motocross bike. Down the local fields, and I'm going to chuck some photos up. Down the local fields I went, rolling around on this BSA Bantam, trying to motocross a road bike, and it did go. I was a bit of a loon, and my dad said to me, he went, right, you want a full-size motorbike? And he bought me a Kawasaki, if you remember them, a KX250. So dad done the KX250, I went off, local motocross meets, just as a schoolboy, and it was only amateur competitions and no money involved, just have a bit of fun at the weekends. And off I went, motocrossing on my KX250, and I did that for years and years, just loving being on bikes. While I was at school, member of the motocross team at school and the motorcycle club where we used to strip bikes down with our headmaster, Mr. Bradshaw, at Leon School, if you remember him, local bikers. Got to 15, 16 and I was doing very, very well at motocross. Won loads of races, loads of trophies, which are all in the loft at home, which I need obviously to get down, but Mrs. B will not have let me have 30, 40 trophies everywhere. And we happened to go off to a motocross meet at Bletchley on one Sunday, just an amateur event, along with the seniors. And lo and behold, there was a load of Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki, KTM, Suzuki race teams there. And won me race, and this guy walked up from Team KTM. You done very, very well. Okay, how old are you? Just coming up for 16 in a couple of weeks. Do you want to ride a big bike? And I went, am I allowed? Yeah, of course you can. What we're going to do, we're going to put you in the seniors competition, nod, and let you have a little bit of a ride of a big bike, but you're going to have to start from the back of the pack. 8-lap race. Okay, I'll have a go. What happens if I crash the bike? If you crash the bike, you crash the bike, mate. No big deal. So let's go back roads and I can waffle while there's no traffic. So off I went. By about the 6th lap I was in second place and hunting this guy in first place down. Every time I got near his back wheel, this guy just accelerated as though I was stood still. He made a mockery of me. But came in second place. You don't win no trophies, mate, because you're a junior in a seniors race, so we can't give you any awards, but well done, good race. Manager of Team KTM come up, brilliant. When you're ready, come and have a chat in the trailer. Well, this guy that won walked up to my dad, and my dad sitting there, shook his hand, mouth open. Who's that, Dad? You not know who that is? No, that's Graham Noyce. He's the world champion. Oh crap. So off I went to Team KTM's trailer to meet Graham Noyce, and had a little chat with him, and he went, well done lad. He said, you'll never keep up with me because obviously you need some skills, but well done for handling the bike, and do you want to ride for Team KTM in the juniors? So I did. When I got to obviously the right age, went up into the seniors and ended up being Southern England champion for my area. So good career there. Obviously at 16 I get to have my first proper road legal motorbike now. All my mates were banging around on Fizzies and Honda SS's and the AP50s that were out at the time. Poor old me, my granddad said to me, you can have my bike. Oh, brilliant, Grandad, what you got? Pooch Maxi. So my first legal road bike was a Pooch Maxi. And obviously 17, ready for me test. Dad went, your driving licence is here, there's your provisional, your bit of green paper, back then, and your bike test's due on your birthday. They'd managed to wangle it that I did my test on my birthday, even though I'd never been on a 250. Met a Mini on a hairpin bend and ended up smashing myself to pieces. Not my fault, he came out on my side of the road, but nowhere to go. And I ended up with a pin in my right leg. Dad put in for my test again. When is it, Dad? It's in 6 weeks. I'm in plaster for about 6-7 weeks, Dad. So the last day before my test, my dad and my uncle got the angle grinder out and cut my plaster cast just below my knee and just above, and screwed a Coke can onto the back of my heel so I could change gear. And believe it or not, this is the route I did on my bike test. And I passed, much to my amazement. 10 minutes in, the instructor come back and pulled up beside me and said, get back to the test centre, mate. He said, I can see you're in pain, and this is a horrible corner to get out of. Road's clear, good, let's go. So see you're in pain, get back to the test centre, which I did. Salute to the fallen soldier there, lest we forget. One for you, military. So I passed my test. I went into our local bike dealers, which is just round the corner from here, called Carnell's it was back then, and sat on a ZX9 at 17. And the salesman being a bit of a snotty 17-year-old, get off the bike, you can't afford it. My dad went, do you want it? Yeah. Can't afford that, mate, it's $5 grand. Back then they were. And my dad pulled the money out and dumped $5 grand on the counter. Oh, Daddy's buying your bike. I went, actually, I've been saving since 12-year-old for my first big bike. And it was all my motocross money that I'd earned. Saved every penny. Bought a ZX9. Loved it. 3 months later, went back into the dealership. Oh, snot-nosed kids back again. Yes, I was. Don't want the ZX9 anymore. Why is that? Too powerful for you? No, actually, I want the Z1300, and bought myself a Z1300. Envy of all my mates, and to say it was a female magnet, yes, it was. And I was the only 17-year-old in Milton Keynes that was hammering around on a Z1300. Never ever dropped it. And then obviously things happened in my life, in and out of different jobs. I couldn't find the right direction in my life. I mean, it was just that I wanted something that I loved. Couldn't find anything to do with biking. So I went off and did a stint in the forces. Found my direction in life. The army is your mother, it will steer you in the right direction. And come out, still no direction, due to a few issues that I did have with a certain thing that happened in 1982 with the army and forces, all the forces in 1982. Came out with a bit of PTSD, got over it, and found a job with my friend being a roadie. Loved it, girl in every port, be a DJ, which is the career that I took up for nearly 40 years. Obviously knew Phil from the garage very, very early at 16. I still rode bikes, but I was in and out of different welding jobs, doing this, doing that. And now around about sort of 20s, first wife, first girlfriend come along, first wife. Marriage didn't last very long, 3 months, and that was due to an issue that obviously my granddad wasn't very well at the time, had a major coronary, and they managed to bring him back, and he had to have a triple bypass. But obviously he wasn't as mobile as he used to be. And one day my granddad got on the bus. This is the bit where I get a bit choked. Went off, got on the bus, went off, found the local woods, sat on a tree, or sat against a tree, downed a bottle of whiskey and 2 packets of paracetamols. and you can imagine the outcome. I was devastated, and it still affects me to this day. It's not a day goes by where I don't think about him. Every time I ride a bike, Grandad's watching me. And it did affect my life a lot. Hence, marriage went down the pan. Couldn't cope with it. Obviously with previous things that had gone on in my past life. And like they tell you in the army, you bottle it, you put your head down, you get on with it, which is what I did, and I still do at the garage. I put my head down and get on with it, deal with it. And it did affect my life a lot. Second wife come along and found a direction in life. I went off and carried on DJing, and that one lasted 6 months. Flitted around a bit, done a few other different jobs. Third wife come along. This is getting to be a life story now, and that one lasted a year. Once again, she didn't like motorbikes. She moved on and in and out and other jobs and carried on DJing. And then obviously back in 2000 I was out doing a karaoke, come across a young lady that I've thought a lot of, and I happened to be with someone at the time, and I texted her, I went, really like you, you've got such a cracking personality. And I was stuck in a dead-end relationship, and we went out and had a drink, just a chat and a drink. And that night I came home and finished my relationship with the person that I was with. Got together with Mel. And obviously I've got a couple of kids from the previous marriages, from his second and third wife. But to say that my life changed the day I met her is an understatement. I said to her, I'm a DJ. Yes, on the disco I am a flirt and a tart, and I play up to the women. But if I've got something stable at home, I'm not interested. And so began a wonderful relationship with her. Now obviously we never had kids, but I said to her, I am a biker and I'm on and off bikes all the time. And the one thing that changed it with me, she said, if it's your passion and you love what you do, I'm not going to stop you doing it. I'm going to have to put up with it because it's what you are. And carried on being a DJ. And 2004, 4 days after my 40th birthday, we got married, hence the tattoo that is on my arm that says 24th of the 4th 2004, D one end, M the other, which is Mel, Mrs. B. And she has been my rock through absolutely everything. Now obviously my mum remarried, and my stepdad was a huge biker, her partner Peter, and he had a BMW GS. Yes, he had a tractor. He had a couple of them actually, and a little while in he developed prostate cancer. And obviously everyone knows where prostate cancer goes. His final wish was to ride a Vincent Black Shadow, and we managed to source one thank you to a certain man from Top Gear called Richard Hammond, who I put a phone call into his press agent and said, where can I find a Vincent Black Shadow? They found it, and we built it, we got it running, and his son Daniel now owns it, but it was the bike that was behind the coffin when we did the procession. And we took the gold stars that my mum owns and they rode behind the coffin as well. He had a sidecar coffin, which is why I'm a member of Biker Escorts. Give something back, show a bit of respect, and obviously that's why I've got the PC Harper badge. And I have a great admiration for all the forces and the services, especially our police. Everyone knocks the police, but they do a good job. You know, if you're going to be a bad boy, then you deserve to be nicked. If you behave yourself, and I don't have a problem with it. All the police people tend to be really good. So big respect to all our forces, Air Force, Army, Navy, and our services as well. and obviously he passed. Another knock-on effect to me. But the one person that stood behind me all the time, and obviously I decided to give up the discos 4 years ago now. Gave up my day job 8 years ago, and it was only the fact that I popped into Eclipse to see Phil to service my disco van. I said, oh, lost my day job, thinking of giving the discos up. You're still riding though, aren't you? Yeah, still ride my bikes. Do you want a job with me? And I haven't looked back. And Phil has been my rock as well. Yes, we do bicker, we do argue. He's always saying, for God's sake, shut your mouth, because I do waffle. I have a mouth on me. And once I start talking, if you watch my live streams, you can't shut me up. I love to chat. But the one thing I will say is, obviously through the live streams, we met Brandon from the 1000cc Club, MT Tank he is known as. And Brandon has been banging on about mental health awareness. Yes, we all have down days. And I've opened up to Brandon a few times. Brandon's obviously opened up. And the one thing about mental health awareness is that if you're a guy, to say that you're struggling is that admitting to your friends that you can't cope. You're not a man. You're not a real man. You bottle it up, you keep it inside. You're not a real man unless you keep it to yourself, because to admit you're struggling or show a sign of weakness, well, you're a bit of a pussy. Women will chat to their female friends, men will never open up. And I am going to say, me getting this out, it's actually lifted a huge weight off my shoulders, thanks to John Dyard McLean. So that's the life story of RB. I did motovlogging, started it 2 years ago off the back of a guy called Spicy110. Thanks Spicy. And I'd chat to him quite a lot, and he got me into doing the Lexmotos. But getting it out there, opening it up, and just chatting to someone. And I always say, you know, if you're struggling, if you're having a down day, tell someone. And I do to Phil. Phil's like, you're a bit quiet today, I'm having a bit of a down day. And I did yesterday. I had a really bad down day yesterday. And Phil said, do you want to come and chat? Yeah, front office is open, let's go and have a chat. And I had a little ball yesterday. And he's like, what's going on? What's going on? Chat to me, talk to me. And to chat to a male colleague, you know, it's not a sign of you're admitting that you're weak, you're a bit of a Nancy or a bit of a puffer. It's getting it out there, clearing your chest and getting that weight off your shoulders. And I would urge anybody that's got mental health problems, even Matty, he has down days. And he says to everybody, you know, he's been out on his Michigan, he has his down days. And it's the fact that he comes on the live streams that it gets it out there. This is probably going to be a lot longer than 10 minutes, guys, but I don't care. I'm getting this off my chest. So I would urge anybody that's got anxiety, stress, mental health problems, chat to the boys in the live stream, chat to another biker, open up to a friend, don't bottle it and keep it up inside. So we're going to head back to the garage. I'm just going to finish off by obviously telling you about my down day yesterday. I phoned up for some parts, and we order a lot from Fowler's, we order a lot from Larson's in Northampton, but if I do struggle with Chinese or foreign import bikes, I normally go to Moto. And I phoned Moto yesterday, and jokingly, where's Dan? Oh, Dan's not here. Oh, he's skiving, having another day off, is he? Lazy sod that he is. Nod, nod. They went, no, Dan's not here. Look at the website. And I went, why do I need to look at the website? Where's Dan? Oh, well, we can put you through to Stan in the parts department now. Of course, got through to Stan. Stan, where's Dan gone then? Look at the website, mate. And I could tell he was getting a bit upset. Something going on? He went, just look at the website, mate. I can't talk no more. What parts you need? Not in stock. All right, I'll have a look at the website. Went on the website to find that Dan had been involved in a RTA and died. And it's been over a month since his funeral. April the 22nd was his funeral. No one had even bothered to phone me up and say, oh, by the way, Dan's had an accident and passed. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So that set me back a bit, because obviously I'd met him quite a few times. been out and had a ride with him, and I was always on the phone to him for parts, and not one person had told me. And I went, why did you not tell me? Well, I thought your biker mates would have told you. No one's told me at all. That set me back a little bit, you know, losing someone that you know. Obviously didn't know him very well, you know, I wouldn't call him a close friend, but he was a colleague that sold me bike parts, and I used to chat to him sort of at least once a week when we were sort of back doing parts for these import bikes. That set me back a little bit. But as I say, chat to someone. If you're suffering or struggling, chat to someone. Please don't bottle it up, because letting it out and airing it makes you feel 100% better, and I do feel 100% better now. Now that I've got it out, now the secret's been out as why RB has down days. And believe it or not, me doing my live streams on a Friday is therapy for me. It's just meeting people and chatting, and I do thank everybody for obviously watching the channel, the follows, the likes, the subscribes, the silly comments that you put up, the ride outs. Yes, this bike does only know super sausage. But, you know, thanks very much everybody. I'm going to head home now anyway. I'm going to take the bike back to the garage. I'm going home to see Mrs. B, my rock. And never ever get her on the back of a bike, but she does put up with all the crap that I bang out, and the hours, endless hours of editing, sitting at home watching YouTube when I could be sat on the sofa having a nice relaxing cuddle with her, watching a bit of TV. But she is a godsend, and we've obviously been married 18 years now. Just got past the 18th anniversary, been together for nearly 21 years. So thanks Mel, you are a rock to me, and I know you do put up with a lot of crap, but she is a godsend. Thank you, my darling. If you've enjoyed the video, obviously thumbs, subscribe, leave your comments in the section below, you know. And as I say, don't bottle it up guys, really do not bottle up your mental health issues. I'm looking forward to actually getting out on this ride with Brandon for this mental health awareness thing in August. Keep an eye on the channel for that, because we are going to be behind that 100%. I had the rep from Muck Off. I'm going to try and get some Muck Off products, see if I can get Viper to donate some stuff. The more stuff that we can get for Brandon's cause, the better. But RB's back, my little bit of red craps there, I'm riding home in that. Thank you very much for watching everybody, but until the next time, be well, ride safe, and it's a big goodbye from me.